Good morning, everyone. Brian Hoops here, Midwest Market Solutions. This is our Market Insider TV opening commentary. It's a Wednesday morning, October the 29th. Good morning, and thanks for joining us here as we take a look at our trading day ahead. A lot of news to talk about this morning. I'll be on RFD TV talking about everything, 8:15 Central Time this morning, as well as Thursday, Friday, rest of this week. And let's just get into it here because there is so much to talk about. And look at the overnight markets first of all. Dollar index is a little bit firmer here this morning. Nat gas continues to weaken. This is a market that we talked about in our closing TV segment. We look at technicals of the market and where we also give our hedge and spec recommendations. This is one that's breaking out to the downside and has what I would say projected further weakness in the 360 to 365 range. Crude oil basically unchanged. Stock market continues to push higher. These are new contract high grounds for the S&Ps. Gold, silver having a nice recovery. It's been a very volatile week or so of gold and silver markets, but they are up this morning. Corn down 1, beans off 9 1/4. Products are mixed with meal slightly higher, bean oil lower, and the wheat is 1 to fractionally weaker here this morning in our early dealings. So let's talk markets and get into all the news. We've been sending out text messages this morning with some of the news items. If you want to receive text messages, go to our website, MidwestMarketSolutions.com, and that will get you signed up for a text service that gives you information directly on your cell phone, or you can follow us on Twitter, whatever's easiest for you. List our offices there on our website. We are redesigning our website. That'll be out in a few months, so we're excited about that as well. Weather-wise, South America, conditions nearly ideal. Brazil is expanding soybean seeded acreage this year, and they are being rewarded with great weather. Good conditions are very good and expected to remain very good in Brazil and Argentina. It's a little dry in Brazil last couple days, but they're expected to get rain by about the first part of November. U.S. farmers selling of supplies here has increased on this rally. That's exactly what they should be doing, is parting with old crop inventories, newly harvested, especially if you're storing crop. No reason to store it any longer. Here's your rally, sell into it. I think there's also opportunities for longer term hedging and for even some new crop. Corn and bean sales, you have to be looking ahead, way ahead here when we're talking about South America production expanding. We have to be proactive in this market environment. All right, it does sound like the U.S. and South Korea have reached a trade agreement, but no details have been released. It was announced, I believe, yesterday that U.S. and Japan have reached an agreement. Japan is going to buy $8 billion worth of ag products. South Korea is expected to buy U.S. products, and tomorrow we should have our ceremony of U.S. and China signing a trade agreement. Now, we've mentioned this before, and according to Reuters, it is becoming fact that China has purchased 3 cargoes, about 180,000 metric tons of U.S. soybeans for shipment. Now, that's viewed as symbolic goodwill gesture ahead of the meeting. China is very symbolic. Anytime in the past they've come to, say, Des Moines, Iowa, and toured soybean processing facilities, there's always a purchase along with the pictures and the ceremony and everything, because that is how China has operated for centuries. Is they're very ceremonial, and they want the whole process, including goodwill gestures of buying U.S. products, and that is what's happened here. We've been hearing rumors that China has bought some beans. Now it looks like it's confirmation. They bought 3 cargoes. Not going to change the balance sheets, but it is a symbolic gesture of this trade agreement that's expected to be signed tomorrow. Margins for live and feeder cattle were increased after Tuesday's close. Live cattle, $3,300, that's up $200. Feeder cattle now $6,000, that's up $400 from their previous margin requirements. So that, I think, will affect the opening this morning, probably give us lower values. It does look like a couple dollars lower in the feeder cattle this morning. Last trading day for October feeder cattle futures and options is tomorrow, and then October live cattle last trading day is Friday the 31st. The CME did confirm this morning that feeder cattle and live cattle will have expanded limits today. The explanation was that if any of the first 4 months settle past their normal limits, then the contract keeps the limits expanded. And even though we didn't settle limit down, we did settle past their normal limits yesterday. Thus, we have the expanded limits today. Personally, I think we're ripe for some sort of a bounce. from somewhere. Probably a lower opening because of the margin call selling. But everything else I'm seeing is pointing towards some sort of a recovery here. How meaningful, how big it is, well, it depends to be seen. Packer margins in the red, about $103, and there was some light trade yesterday in the north at $360 on a dress basis. $228 to $230 were bids that were passed, and the south remains at its standstill, except for 140 head that were traded at $230. That's the news for this morning. Have a great day. We hope to talk to you soon. This has been Brian Hoops from Midwest Market Solutions. Good luck and good trading.